friends, welcome to my channel. If you're new here, I'm Zita, and on my channel I do DIYs and makeovers on a budget. And don't forget to follow me on Instagram, Facebook, and Pinterest at OakWell Home. So let's get started on today's DIYs and see what I've created. First, I'm going to start out here with some recycled cans that I've saved to do some of these projects. I have all different sizes and a few pop cans that I saved, a big coffee can. And now I'm using Fusion Ultra Grip to put on the cans so the paint will adhere properly to the cans, because if you don't put something like this on, the paint will come off your cans easily. So I'm just preparing all my cans here first for some of the projects that I'm going to do. And the first project that I'm going to be starting out with are some Christmas bells. And you can make them out of a lot of different shapes. So you'll see I'm going to make 3 sets of bells here. And I'm going to have a few different sizes of cans. I'm going to use some of the pop cans and some of the shorter cans to make little shorter bells. And they all turned out beautifully. Right here, I've taken all the lids off the pop cans on the one side, and here I have some styrofoam balls that I've cut in half. And now I'm just putting some glue on the other side and gluing that down. That's going to look more like a bell shape. Then I'm going to cut out a little bit of the middle of the styrofoam ball and put a little hook on there. Well, it's actually a bead that I'm going to use to string the rope on, or the ribbon on. So here, this can right here had the 2 ends cut off, but it had a little lip on the one, so I was still able to put half that styrofoam ball on there. And if you hear my dog sniffing there, I just gave him a treat, and he's looking for more. And now he's burping right while I'm trying to do a voiceover. So here I'm taking my pocket knife, and I am just going to cut out the middle as I explained there. And there's the bead. I have had some big beads. There's quite a few things that you could probably use here. I was thinking some shower curtain hooks or something like that as well, or some napkin rings would be another thing you could use. And I'm just hot gluing those on there, and they stayed pretty well, as you'll see in the end once I string these bells, that everything stayed put with the hot glue and the other, I think it was Titebond glue that I used. So yeah, I use these beads on all of the bells. Now, I do not use styrofoam balls for all of the bells, because there are many different types of bells out there. I've seen them in many stores and online, like all kinds of different shapes and sizes. So these little shorter cans here, I'm just putting the bead on top, and I'm going to string them that way. So right here, I've taken my cans outside on my patio, and I'm giving them a nice coat of black spray paint. So I did give them a couple coats, and once I sprayed them, I brought them inside in the warm because it takes them longer to dry in the cold. So they're all painted everywhere, and now I'm using a Rub and Buff here. This is my first time using this product. It's really hard to find here in Canada, like in the stores. So I ordered it from Amazon. They have all kinds of different colors. I forget off the top of my head what color this is, but I think it's like an antique gold or something like that. Very, very nice color, as you can see. And this stuff really goes a long way. And you will see me a little later also use a gold acrylic paint that I picked up at the Dollar Tree. So if you don't have any Rub and Buff, you can also get a gold paint at the Dollar Tree or any dollar store. The Dollarama here in Canada also has some gold paint. And isn't that beautiful? Look how beautiful that looks with the black. Like with the black in the background, it makes the bell look a little more natural instead of like all gold. Gives it that antique look, I think. And here's that shorter can. Another beautiful color and shape as well. And once they're all on a ribbon and stuff like that, and they have the little bell hanger on them, they look really nice. Now, guys, you are not going to believe what those little black things are, okay? This is like a waste not, want not kind of a saving right here. This is the dog bags, dog poop bags. When they're all finished, this is the little plastic thing that's left. And they work wonders. I've left the sound on once I shake that little bell thing so you can hear it against the can, and it works wonders. Just listen right here. Doesn't that sound like a real bell? So if you have some of these guys, if you have a pet and you have some of these disposable bags, and you want to make some bells in the future, you can hang on to these little things. And I just strung the twine through and just tied a little knot, and it fit perfectly. Those things didn't slip off at all. So here I've tied some twine on this set right here, and I actually put twine on all of the bells, like in the bead there to hang them. But this set from the pop cans and another set of cans, I did change out and change it to ribbon instead that I found at the Dollar Tree. So these are the different colors, and as you can see there, the difference in the gold from the dollar store acrylic paint and the Rub and Buff. And right here I had some copper spray paint, and so I sprayed a little bit in a container, and then I dabbed some of the copper color on the pop cans, and just to give it a different look from the rest of them, just to try it out. You know, they're just some cans, so try all kinds of different colors if you want. So I tried some of the copper on this one. So right here is what I was talking about earlier. I changed out the twine on a couple of sets, and I put this black and gold ribbon, which worked out really nice. I found this at the Dollar Tree, and it tied in really nice with the gold paint on the bell. So and then for the set with the pop cans, I had some black velvet ribbon that I also found at the Dollar Tree, and I changed out the twine and used that on the pop can set. So here is the first set that I put those styrofoam balls on, and as you can see, one of the cans are ribbed and the other ones aren't. And so this 3 different styles right there. One is a pop can because that's all I had available, and there's the little disposable bag plastic thing that's left over. It worked really well. So, and here's the pop cans with a little bit of copper on these ones right here. And, but they all turned out absolutely beautiful. And I really like the little short bells as well, the little short cans. And I left the twine on that set, and you'll see right there in this picture what a beautiful color they turned out too, and they look really nice with the twine as well. So friends, if you have some old cans laying around, which everyone will have, because if you're eating canned food or have pop every once in a while, you can use pop cans as well, or any type of can at all, and give it a try and see what you can come up with. I hope you enjoyed this one. Here's my next set of cans. I got 3 different sizes here, 2 taller ones and then 1 short one. So again, I've already put my Fusion Ultra Grip on these cans, as you saw in the beginning of the video. So all the projects that you see me working on here, where I just start painting, I did apply the Fusion Ultra Grip to the can first, so the paint will adhere better. So I'm giving the 2 cans a coat of white paint, and I give it 2 coats of white paint, and then the little short one, I give it a couple of coats of black paint. And if you haven't guessed by now, I'm making a snowman with these set of cans. And then you see a little wood circle here. I'll be painting that black too, because that'll be part of the snowman's hat. And I believe I found that at the Dollar Tree or the Dollarama. And you could also use like a big lid as well. You know, a lid from a can, you know, Basil lid or butter lid, you know, plastic lid. Anything that you can find that's a little larger than the can that you're going to use for the hat, because that's supposed to be for the rim of the hat. So here I'm just using some hot glue to put that down, and that can is open there. So I'm just putting some glue along the edge, and I'm going to apply that wood piece there, which is going to be the brim of the hat. And now I'm going to put some glue along the edge of the shorter can here. Sorry, I'm out of frame there, but I'm just putting the glue around the rim, and then pressing that down and holding it for a little bit, and to make sure that's stuck. And now I have this little scrap piece of fabric there that is from a placemat from the Dollar Tree or the Dollarama, one or the other. So any scrap fabric that you have, you can use. I like this little plaid fabric from the placemat that I had, so I'm using that. And right here I'm just using a permanent marker to paint some eyes on the snowman, and then you'll see me take a white paint marker that I'm going to use just to give some dimension to the eyes. I'm not the best painter, friends, so I try my best with this painting stuff, but he turned out absolutely so cute. And I'm looking at him right now on my shelf, and I love him. It turned out really cute. Sometimes I'm really, I know some of these projects aren't big projects, but when it comes to like painting little faces and stuff like that, it makes me a little nervous because I don't think I'm the greatest at that. But he turns out really cute, and you'll see here in the end. So right here, I'm just taking a piece of scrap wood that I found in my stash. So sometimes it's good to keep some of those little pieces of scrap wood. See, and this is like a little triangle too, so it worked out perfectly for his nose. And I literally just found that little piece of scrap wood in some of my stashes in a little bottle that I kept. And I am going to paint his nose orange. Right here, I'm taking another marker and I'm making some kind of, little smiley face on him. Now I have seen some other snowmen online where they just give them those, like if you're using little rocks for the smile, it's like little circles going all the way around, but I just used a line on this one. And here I'm painting his nose orange. And after I have that done, you'll see me use some little puffy paint, I think it's called. And I'll use that on his hat and on his nose just to make it look like there's snow that has fallen on his hat and his nose. And right here I just pulled out my buttons and have some scrap black buttons there that I'm going to add to give it embellish it some more. And you don't have to use any buttons or anything, or you could use any other kind of scrap thing that you have, some beads or whatever. But I had these buttons left over, so I think there are a few different sizes, but I think it gives it that little bit of extra. And here's that placemat that I was talking about, and that's from last year. So I'm just cutting a little scarf for him now, and I'm going to glue that down so it stays in place. And I'm also going to add a button to his scarf. And I came across some snowflakes that I had from last year, a big bag of snowflakes that I'll be adding to his hat, and a button that I'm going to be putting on the scarf. So here's that puffy paint that I picked up at the Dollar Tree, and it gives the snowman that little bit extra as well. And I do have a little embellishment on his hat there as well, so I guess I did not include that in the video. I must have cut that out somehow. But yeah, so whatever you want to put on his hat for a little embellishment, it just gives it that little bit extra. And yeah, I'm putting a little bit of that puffy paint along his nose there to make it look like the snow has dropped on his nose as well. And that's it for this guy. Let me know in the comments, friends, what you think of this little cutie once you see him here. And again, there's those snowflakes. There was tons of those in the bag, so those are from last year. And I do put a few on his hat, and that's it. So again, friends, you can add whatever you want to your snowman, and use whatever size cans you want. Make them as tall as or as short as you want. So isn't he adorable? He is so adorable. So let me know in the comments what you think of this little guy. So let's get started with making this snowflake. So here are the bags that I picked up from the dollar store. These were nice and colorful, red buffalo check with a snowman on it. So this snowflake's going to have some color to it. So there were 8 paper bags in this package, and they were really thick paper bags actually. So they were actually a little harder to cut than regular paper bags. So first here I'm starting out with some glue stick, and I'm going to apply that to the bags, and then I'm going to layer the bags on top of each other. And you're going to want to face the paper bag back down and just pile them on top of each other. So here I'm just applying the glue. So I'm going to do that for all 8 bags. And guys, if I was to do this again, I'd probably use hot glue because I think it's going to stick a lot better with the hot glue. I did have a little issue with this glue at the end, so I had to use a stapler to staple the snowflake in some of the areas, but it still turned out beautiful. So here I'm just pressing it down, and I am going to put a weight down on top of this and leave it for a while just so it sticks better. So here I've come back after I've left the glue to dry after putting the weight on it, and here I'm just measuring out where I want to make my first angled cut at the top. How far down I want to go, and just using the pencil and the ruler there to measure out the center before I make my cut with the scissors. And as you'll see here, like I said, these paper bags were really thick, a lot thicker than your normal paper bag. I don't know if it had something to do with the print being on there, or these are just really thick paper bags. So I did have to kind of go underneath the paper bag there at the top. So as you see, I got 2 cuts completed on the top, and now I'm just making some cuts in the middle of the bag to make it look like a snowflake. And as you can see there, I'm struggling to get the scissors through the paper bag, so I started using the X-Acto knife to tear out some of the pieces, and this worked really well. So I'm going to do that on both sides as well. Now you can put as many cuts in the paper bag as you'd like to make your snowflake a little different. I just used the one. So I've done that, and now I'm just opening it up. And you're going to want to put the 2 end pieces together to make that snowflake. Now I have seen some use 9 paper bags, but there are only 8 in this package. But I actually like the 8 because it gives the snowflake that tight look instead of being all loose with too many paper bags. So here I'm just putting some more glue on both ends to stick those ends together. And you're going to want to open it up and just stick those together. And this is where I started using the stapler to keep it in place, because like I said, the glue wasn't sticking in some areas, and the stapler worked fine as well. So this is what it looks like once I have all the staples in the places that I want to put it in. So now I'm taking my hole punch here and putting a hole at the top, and I got some red and white baker's twine there that I'm going to put through that hole that I just punched. And now I can hang it up anywhere in my house that I want to. So guys, I hope this easy to do snowflake gave you guys some inspiration to make your own snowflakes and design them any way you want to. These are easy to do with your kids, and I love them myself as well. And you can hang them anywhere in your house to make your house look more festive. So let me know in the comments what you thought of this easy to do snowflake tutorial. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button. So right here I have some of the larger cans, and I've taken both sides off the can, and now I'm just squeezing it with my hand, and I'm also going to grab some pliers to close that shut as much as possible. Now if you have a vice grip, that would work really well for getting these cans closed, but if you don't, this works out just fine. Like if you haven't figured it out, I'm making some smashed cans right here. And once you put your napkin down, and you can make it a little bit longer to bring it around to the back, and then you won't see any little bit of opening there if there's a little bit left there, like right here, And again, it's just a can. A napkin can cover that up. So right here, I'm just drilling a hole on the sides of the can so I can hang my ribbon or my twine, whatever I'm going to use. And again, I've already given these cans a coat of the Fusion Ultra Grip before I painted it. And once that has dried, once the Fusion Ultra Grip has dried, you apply your paint. So I give this can a couple of coats of paint because once my napkin's on there, I want that to shine, be a little brighter with a couple of coats of paint. So these are some of the beautiful napkins that I have. I have so many in a binder. You might see that later on in another project. But I really love this little one. Santa's hanging his suit out on the clothesline in the winter. Yeah, so here I'm just getting off the layers of napkins, and you're just going to have that final layer. So this is a 3-ply napkin. I got these napkins from Ninny Napkins, and if you want a 10% off coupon code, I'll leave that in my description box. So make sure you get all the plies off your napkins and just leave the final ply. And sometimes when you get one layer off, it feels like maybe you've gotten all the layers off, but make sure you check that, because if you don't have all the layers off, it's going to start to bubble up on your can. And the top portion is going to want to lift off the other ply that you didn't get off the napkin. So right here, I'm using some glue. What is this called? Oh gosh, I missed the name of it, and the name has escaped me. I use it all the time. I got that from Ninny's Napkins as well. You can use Mod Podge, but sometimes I find the Mod Podge is a little thick. You can probably water it down. Sometimes I'll mix the Mod Podge in this one because this one is very thin. And so I've put the glue on, and then I'm using some saran wrap to gently rub that napkin onto the can. Don't press really hard. Just rub across it very, very gently. And right here I'm just doing the back can, a little bit of the inside. And as you can see, the napkin on the bottom, there's like it's a little bit longer, so I'll just wrap that around the can, put it on the back, and then that way you can't see those little bit of opening on the bottom of the can. But aren't these napkins so cute? So here I'm just folding along the sides, just picking off a little bit of the extra there. If you pick off too much, as I've done right there, just pick up the other little piece of the napkin that you've pulled off and just, you know, tap it on there, and once it dries you won't even really know, because it's just on the side. Or, you know, if you're going to be doing any painting on the can, you can kind of cover it up with paint as well. Or if you have some embellishments to put on the can, you could use that to cover up any of your little mistakes. And right here I'm just folding the napkin inside, and I took some of that little extra off, that extra that I'm putting inside there, and just putting it where I ripped it. And sorry for my head there. So yeah, I'm just gluing that down inside as well, and then I'm gonna let this dry. Now I do see some people, they will put their glue on the top right away as well, but I like to let it dry a little bit. That way there's less error of ripping the napkin that's still a little bit wet. So right here, this is a 3-ply napkin as well, and I'm using a dental pick here to get all the layers off. Sometimes this can take a little while to see if you've gotten all the layers. Like sometimes I'm like, did I get all the layers? It feels like you've gotten all the layers, but you really want to check to make sure you got those layers, because believe me, I have done this, made the mistake of thinking I've gotten all the layers and I haven't, and then the napkin has bubbled off my project. So as you see there was another layer. Sometimes you got to be patient in trying to get that off. And again, I'm cutting crosswise here, and I'm going to put this little Santa on the front and the back as well. And again, this napkin is also from Nenny's Napkins. They have so many beautiful napkins. You could be hours looking on their webpage for napkins and thinking of products that you could make with these napkins. So if you want to order some for yourself, use my 10% off coupon code in the description box below. And right here again, I'm putting my glue, and I've remembered the name now. It's called Polyfine Wood Varnish, and this is the dead flat varnish. So like when I put the coat of varnish on the top, once the napkin dries on the can, it does not have a sheen on it. It's going to dry flat. And so if you have products where you don't want a sheen on it, say for example some coasters, I've made some coasters with some of these napkins, and if you don't want the coasters to have a sheen on it, you could use this Polyfine dead flat glue, so it doesn't have a sheen. So I've got my layer of glue on here, and I'm just cutting off the excess, and you'll see me apply the glue to the top of the can, and then I'm going to embellish it with my ribbons. See it, I ripped another little piece off there, but that little extra that you can cut off, if you make a little mistake, you can use that to fix your mistakes. It's fixable, or like I said, you can embellish it. So yeah, you'll see me let this dry and then apply the glue to the top, and then I'll apply some ribbon, and then I'll put some embellishments inside, like one of these cans. I do put some floral inside, and it turns out beautiful. And for the other one, you'll see that I used some tissue paper inside, and I'm going to use one of these cans. I think it's the big Santa there, for a gift card. So friends, if you want something a little special or creative to put a gift card in, or like some candy or something like that, this is the perfect little thing. So right now I have a gift card in one of these that I'm giving for a gift, and the person can keep the can as well. These will make great little gift card holders for kids or adults too, who like a little bit of creativity. I'm pretty sure my friend is going to be surprised to get this little can with a gift card inside. So once you see this finish, let me know in the comments what you think of this napkin choice that I've chosen here, and what you think of the tissue paper inside this one here that I'm painting for a gift card. Let me know what you think of that idea. And right here, friends, I found some little scrap fur that I wrapped around his hat. Now, aren't these absolutely beautiful and an absolutely amazing idea for a gift? And right here I have the coffee can, and for this one you'll see me apply the Fusion Ultra Grip like I did with the all the rest of the cans. And once that is dry, I'm going to give it a coat of black paint to cover up that all that writing on there so that doesn't come through. And then I'm going to give it a couple of coats of white paint, and then I'm going to decoupage my napkin on there. And the napkin that I choose for this one is so fun. And I'm going to be using this coffee can to put a little Christmas tree in, and it turns out beautiful. And as you'll see, I'll bring out my binder of napkins, and I start trying some napkins on the coffee can. And the one I chose with the little squirrel and the bird is so fun, and the Christmas tree just looks adorable in this can. So it's amazing, friends, what you can do with some, trashed, recycled cans. So just let your imagination go wild and just, just try out some of these projects and have some fun with it. So I'm just going to let some music play through this one, and let me know what you think of this adorable little project. For these two cans, I am going to give them a couple of coats of this Dollar Tree brown paint. And what I'll be making with these two cans is a sweet little reindeer. And I'm looking at him on my shelf right now with the snowman, and it is so cute. This turns out so cute. So the larger of the can, that will be the bottom, the body of the reindeer, and then the smaller can will be on top and will be a little bit forward from the bottom of the can, and that will be the face of the reindeer. So once the paint dries, I'm gonna go ahead and drill some holes in these cans. For the bottom one, I'll be drilling 4 holes for the legs, and I've picked up a branch from the trail when I was out walking my dog. So just find something in your yard, or if you're walking on a trail, just something that you can use for the legs. Or you could also use some dowels or something like that, but I feel like the branches kind of give it that little bit of a rustic look. So yeah, here's my branch, and I'll cut that into 4 equal pieces and drill my holes and put that in the bottom can, and then I'll make another little branch for the neck of the reindeer and attach that into a hole on the bottom can. So I'll let you see what I'm doing there, and then I'll come back in later. As you can see here, friends, I'm using various tools here to cut these little branches. I didn't feel like taking it outside and using my chop saw, so I'm just using this little hand tool and a saw, and I'm getting the job done. It's taking a while, but I'm getting the job done. And I'm using this large drill bit for the holes for those branches. And I do start out with the big drill bit, but for the rest of the holes, I first drill like a little hole in the can, and then to get it started, and then I use the big drill bit. These drill bits aren't the best drill bits. They're not the sharpest. So I got 2 drills here, and just drilling the little hole and then the big hole, and you'll see me do that in a second there. Then I'm going to put all the legs in, and I'm going to put the neck on, and then the head, and then I'm going to give my reindeer a face and some embellishments. So right here, I'm going to put some eyes on him. I have some googly eyes there in my stash. These eyes I thought were a little too big, so I pulled out some smaller ones there. And then I have these little pom-poms in my stash, and I found this red one and ended up finding a bigger one later on, so I took that one off and put the bigger one on because this is supposed to be Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. Had a very shiny nose. So now I'm gluing the top can to the bottom can so it stays in place. And it has its little neck, branch neck there. And now I'm just going to put a little bow on him in the front to just dress him up a little bit more. And I'm just putting some glue around his legs there so that they stay in place. And yes, we need his antlers. So I got some pipe cleaner here and I just twisted that and bent it and then just glued it to the top there. And there were some little twigs attached to that branch that I picked up. So I cut down some of those and I also glued that in there with the pipe cleaner. And that gives it a little bit more rustic look, I think, with some of the little twigs in there. And this is a little piece of fabric from a placemat that I found at the dollar store. So I'm just tying a little bow here, and I'm going to stick that on his front. And then this one is done. So friends, I really hope you enjoyed all these tin can DIYs. I mean, you can just grab some cans in your recycling and just create something. It's fun, it's whimsical, and I hope I gave you some inspiration today with all of these projects. And so give me a like and let me know in the comments which one was your favorite. And I hope you all have a very Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.